The House struck a deal to avert a major rail strike. This came after a grave warning from President Joe Biden about its economic danger. The tentative deal includes more paid sick days for rail workers. Now lawmakers in the Senate have to act fast and pass it through before December 9th. If they don't, the ripple effect would be felt in everything from supply chain distribution to jobs right here in Minnesota. Gordon Severson joins us now with a closer look at that. Gordon?
Yeah, Minnesota is fifth in the nation for ethanol production with nearly 23,000 workers and a $6 billion economic impact, according to the University of Minnesota Extension. It's an industry that relies heavily on railroads to bring things in and ship them out. Industry leaders say a strike could literally bring this industry to a screeching halt.
We're watching it very closely.
Minnesota corn and railroads are more intertwined than you might think.
Rail moves an awful lot of important inputs like fertilizer, propane, fuel.
Minnesota Corn Growers Association President Richard Severson says it's also how farmers ship their corn across the country. But possibly the biggest impact happens down the line when much of that corn is turned into ethanol.
An ethanol plant can only run typically 5 to 7 days without being able to get their product out of the plant and out the door. And so those plants would be shutting down with an extended rail stoppage.
According to the Minnesota Biofuels Association, there are 18 ethanol plants in Minnesota. Most of them are scattered across the southwest corner of the state, in small towns where the ethanol plant is a big part of the local economy.
It would have a pretty significant impact.
Brian Werner is the executive director of the Minnesota Biofuels Association. He says many of those jobs could be affected if a rail strike happens. Consumers could also feel it at the gas pump if a strike goes on for weeks and wipes out the national supply of ethanol.
This is really coming at the worst possible time. And so, I think we're just really urging cooperation between all parties so that common sense can prevail and we can avert some of these catastrophic impacts.
Now, with all the attention that this possible strike is getting in Washington, both of the industry leaders I spoke with said that they're hopeful that things will work out. But just a few months ago, we saw that the president got involved and they had a tentative deal in place, but many thought that the unions would go along with it, and some of them didn't, and here we are. So they say, who knows what could happen here over the next couple of days.
All right, such an important story with so many tentacles. Thanks so much, Gordon.